service this morning for Irene. The family here in the first few rows and the friends in the back, the family sure does appreciate all you friends being here. It's very good. Presence, being there for them is very important. And as the day goes on and we keep going deeper and deeper in everything with time, they need people. They need stories. They need to be able to talk to people. And that's why friends are so important at funeral services. I'll start the service off here with just a couple simple things. There was two things I found that will explain her life a little bit more, and as you people knew her and you all know her very well, you knew what she was about. One day these trials will be over, and we can say it was worth it all. When we see the face of Jesus and hear him say, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant," then you will know the labor was not in vain. That comes from Matthew 25, verse 21. Actually, in the Bible, it says, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord." And again, that's Bible speak for saying, good job. You took care of what you needed to take care of. Come and be with me. As we're here on this earth together, sad as we go through this, know as we go through this day, Irene's okay. She's with God. She's not hurting anymore. She's not having any more trouble with anything. She's happy and free. And that's what we got to get in our minds as we go through this day. At this time, we'll now have a song, "In the Garden."
I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me is falling, but he bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Irene Eleanor Peterson Avery, 91, of Grand Island, died on Monday, October 13th, 2025, at Tiffany Square. Irene was born on November 5th, 1931, in Grand Island, to Christian and Zelma Patience May Nelson Peterson. She grew up in Grand Island and received her education at Lincoln Elementary, Walnut Junior High, and then at Grand Island Senior High School. And nowadays, we just say did this or graduated from that, but going through each school meant that each of those places had a big part in her life. And it tells you kind of where she's from in town and who she ran around with during the good old days. Irene was united in marriage to Joseph Milton Avery on June 18, 1949 in Oshkosh. They lived in Grand Island where she was a homemaker. She also lived in Kokomo, Colorado and was employed by Delicious Foods for 13 years and Leon Plastics. She also babysat for her grandkids, nephews, nieces, and also the neighbor kids. She was a member of the Trinity United Methodist Church. She enjoyed jigsaw puzzles, bingo, and loved sending cards to family and friends. Irene is survived by her daughters, Karna and Leonard Welch, Laura and Michael Nelson, Vera and Ken Henman, and Paula and Dean Ewalt. 9 grandchildren, 16 great-grandchildren, and 2 great-great-grandchildren. Her sister-in-laws Rachel Peterson and Sandra Peterson. Irene was preceded in death by her parents, her husband Joseph Avery, her son Joseph Charles Allen Avery, 9 brothers, Paul and his wife Mary, Floyd and Eleanor, Charles, Robert, Pearl and Faye, Cedric, Gaylord, Enos, Howard and Frankie, and then her sister Virginia and Joe Ring. So 9 boys, 2 girls. That's a lot of work right there. And knowing boys, she had to do not only her job, she had to help her mother a lot, taking care of those boys. I know how that goes. So we'll now have our second song, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long, a beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you. I could fly higher wind beneath my wings. Fly, fly, fly away. You let me fly so high. Oh, you, the wind beneath my wings. Oh, you, the wind beneath my wings. Fly, fly so high against the sky, so high I almost touch the sky. Thank you, thank God for you, the wind beneath my wings.
We go through this time and I talk, and we talk about Irene and bring stuff up and remembrance. I got together with the family last night. We told stories, and at the beginning it was very quiet, and we talked about this, and then it started going, and then it got really loud, and I didn't know where the stories were coming from. They came from this way, came this way. I jotted them down, and I don't do this very often. Usually I can read in order. I had to put them in order of how I thought everything went on paper, because it was just good. It was very good to get together and talk. But I get in the room, and the first question I asked was, what makes you smile when you think about her? What memory comes to mind, the one thing that just makes you think about her and remember? And the first answer, very simply, everything. When you remember her, you just smile. When you think about her and what she did for you and what she made you, smiling is good. Her true job in her life, we talked about the two other jobs, Leon Plastics, and the other one was her grandkids. That was her job. That was her life. That's what she truly enjoyed, babysitting for grandkids. And as a daughter of Irene, that's the best thing you could have had. It really is. What are you going to do with the kids? Well, Grandma's going to take them. That just makes life so much better, so much simpler. You're not trying to find people to watch your kids and everything else. She just simply loved that. Another quote, this is perfect too. This is a question from the grandkids. Grandma had a life before us? She had a real job? Think about that, the grandkids. After you came along, you're her life. You're number one. And no matter how many of you were at one time or grew to, you were all treated equal. You were all treated the same. You never had a question of where you fit into the order of things. Out of all of you, we were all number one. And we talked to presents. You all got the same amount of things. You might not have got something else, but there'd be change or something else in there to equal everything out. The equal. And you always say, well, how can you love everybody equally or love this guy? She pulled it off. Somehow or another, she pulled all that off. And we got to remember that. It just came to me sitting here. And this is one of the greatest quotes of all time. I know you all have your favorite TV shows. She had hers, and Grandpa had his, and we talked about that on The Office, the last episode of The Office. Andy, we're sitting there, and it's all over with. We're going to go our separate ways. And this is so fitting in life, especially for the grandkids. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. Wouldn't that be nice? You look back and you say, my gosh, what a great time. What a great era. What if the good old days are right now? What if right now, and 10 years from now, we look back and say, what a great time. I'm not talking about this day. I'm not talking about Irene's death. I'm just talking about our lives. That's what we got to do. You got to live every day like you're in the good old days, and it's going to always be that good. Back to the stories, and these are very good. Her family remembers Irene loving holidays. 4th of July decorations, she's very patriotic. Christmas, the big dinners that she always hosted at her house until she simply couldn't do it anymore. But I guarantee you, she did them longer than she should have, didn't she? That's the person that cares. Every year, my family, like my mom's never going to do it again. Next year, you're all coming to my house. We're going to do it. Not coming to do it next year. All at her house. It's just what moms do. It's what grandmas do. Halloween. It's the month of Halloween, and that was a big thing. And the song came out. We actually stopped and talked about the lyrics, the Monster Mash. Remember the Monster Mash? All the grandkids shake. Yes, the Monster Mash. That was a big part of Halloween and what we're doing now. You all remember that being played a lot. Halloween is definitely going to be different this year without Grandma. You know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, everything's different. Everything's changed. But remember, she's still here. She's still with you. She still gave you all these great memories, and she still makes you smile. She could fix anything. She was referred to as Grandma MacGyver. She could fix anything. Usually you leave that up to the men to fix everything. Not Irene. She just took over and got it done. She loved her cards and solving puzzles. The grandkids also remember playing baseball with her in the summer at her house, and Grandma even joined in when she was able. And then when it got hot, you talked about the 100-degree days, summers and everything, you'd be outside playing at Grandma's house, and it's what you did, and you're hot. Remember taking your hat off and her dumping ice in the hat and putting the hat on your head to cool down? It's a great way to take care of kids. It really is. They'd also remember the push-ups you got during the summer. Or the orange, whatever those are, the push-ups that you got to eat and take care of, cooled you down a little bit more. And then it was a time as you were watching cartoons. You even made the comment, we got kicked off the TV and our cartoons so she could watch General Hospital, All My Children, and One Life to Live. Did she get any of you grandkids any of those shows? I really hope not, but she probably did. That soap opera stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and everything like that, I remember that well too. These are all good memories brought up for me too. It's just really good for us. She'd also watch Wheel of Fortune, and then Grandpa'd come in and watch boxing or whatever he wanted to throughout the night, and then later in the night, they'd have to turn the channel to get the lottery numbers. So you took 5 minutes to go get the lottery numbers on the TV. And then back to what Grandpa wanted to watch. Her recent interest in TV included Dancing with the Stars. That was her new thing, which she quit watching because the people dancing were all half naked. I like that. I like that she couldn't handle that. That was good. Way back when, family lived in Kokomo, Colorado for a few years. Irene and her friend Janet, and Janet actually was the babysitter to the kids, to the girls, lit off a cherry bomb in this small town of Kokomo, 20 houses. And it was a little bigger than they thought. The explosion was a little bigger than they thought it was. Actually rattled some houses and everything like that, but they never admitted to doing that. Told the family, told everybody else, but they were scared to death they were going to get in trouble. Another thing I'm going to mention here, grandkids, kids will remember, and this brought stuff back to me too as we're talking. Methylate. Remember methylate solution? Methylate. Yes, methylate. It's just a little balm solution. You put on cuts, scratches, everything like that, and it burns. It burns. It's like taking lemon and putting in your eye. It burns. But she had this. The grandkids would go out and play. The grandkids spent their summers with Grandma. And that was your life. You're never going to forget that. You spent your summers with Grandma. They'd go out and get beat up, skinned, bruised, scratched up. But they never told her because they knew they would get methylate put on that scratch. And then they'd go home and Mom and Dad would wonder, well, why is she not taking care of these? Well, they didn't want her to because it hurt. You even remember recently trying to find methylate to take care of something. The girls do. They also remember saying goodbye to her over the course of time. You have your gathering, you have your get-together, and you're saying bye, and you always had to have a hug and a kiss from her. And the kiss was always on the lips. Remember that? And then, like you said, until it couldn't be anymore. In the last 5 years or so, with whatever's out there with these viruses, you didn't want to have Grandma have it, so that had to stop. So she'd give you a hug, and you'd turn your face, and then she'd still catch you on your way back on your lips every now and then. You remember that very well. That's just these little things. Whenever you walked into her home or saw her anywhere else, her face lit up, especially the grandkids and the great-grandkids. Not anything, she didn't love you girls, the daughters, but those grandkids kind of changed lives. And she just lit up, and again, when you saw her, you just knew what you meant to her here. You knew that she was her life. Her favorite color was pink. Everything she could get to be pink, she made pink. The pink camper, the pink carpet, and her pink lipstick, the hot pink lipstick. You talked about still having the tube of lipstick from back when you were kids, and you wanted to wear that, and she'd never let you put it on yourself. She had to help you put it on, otherwise you'd look like the Joker. But you remember that hot pink lipstick. And then the loose tooth. Well, if you had a loose tooth as a grandkid, a little bit loose or a lot loose, it was coming out. And I was told this morning, and I didn't believe this would ever happen, but it did, because we got threatened all the time. You got threatened with going to Boys Town. You got threatened with all this stuff when you got in trouble. If you had a loose tooth, I was always threatened they're going to tie a string around it, tie the other end to a doorknob, close the door. Remember? I don't think we can do that, kids, anymore. We'll probably go to jail. That actually happened. Grandma actually did that. Tied it to it, closed it, tooth came out, got in hair, everything. It just, she took care of issues. When I go back, Grandma can fix anything. She fixed loose teeth for all the time. And then you probably, after that, the pain and the blood and everything else scared you to death. Then you got your tooth fairy that came in, and everything was okay. That's just some stuff that we hit on. And I know there's a lot more stuff out there and a lot more that needs to be said. I'm going to go, and if the grandkids, a couple grandkids would tell just one or two stories, if they would, please. I got the mic here. I know there was one that wanted to tell something. I'll give you the mic. We'll tell your short stories. We'll get them going. And yeah, but remember, these are your stories. This is your life and what she meant to you. So just keep listening here. Check. Thank you.
Grammy wanted me to tell this story. It's a good story. It's a good, funny memory. When we were really young, we were visiting, and we were sitting at the dinner table, and Grandma Irene told my sister to look down her shirt and spell attic. And my sister did it, and we all laughed, and I even told her about that last year, like, I remember you doing this, and it always brings a smile to my face.
They mentioned that might be inappropriate, but it's absolutely perfect. It makes her that you knew who she was, that human being. Any other kids got any short stories? Anybody else have something?
I'm actually a great niece, and Aunt Irene never forgot a birthday. She always put the birth date. And I married and moved way out to the West Coast. And so she and my grandmother and my mom made the trek all the way out to Washington State to see not only me, but my sister. And my sister had just had a baby. So my great niece, who's here, or my niece, would be her great-great niece, was 3 months old. And Aunt Irene said, "Oh, let's see if she likes mustard." And so began the taste test of everything on the table to see what flavors she liked and didn't like. And we just had a wonderful week with them visiting us in Washington State. And one day my husband, when he opened our anniversary card, said, "How does she remember every birthday, every anniversary, and every year writes which anniversary it is and which birthday it is, even for children that were not even born in the family?" So my stepson, she knew his birth date and knew his knew everything, and it was such a blessing to have somebody who cared so much. And my husband and his family just thought the world of Aunt Irene. And so did we.
Thank you. Good job. But you think about that, we're losing that too. We're losing the lunch ladies. We're losing the people that actually took time to send cards. Marge, I'm looking at you. We're losing that. Somebody's got to step up, and I don't know how to write, so it's got to be somebody else. So we need that.
I'll give a follow-up to the birthdays. I don't know how many people, I'm one of Irene's granddaughters, I don't know how many people spent time at her house, but a significant thing at her house for the birthdays, if anybody go in the bathroom, she, every year, she's got it's calendar, and I don't remember if it was a dog calendar or if the calendar changed, but there's a calendar, and it's when you sit on the toilet, and it's right there in front of your face. It's got everybody's birthday on it. It's got every anniversary on it. There are some months that there's not an empty day. Like everybody in her life is on that calendar. She did it every single year. You sit on the toilet. It's in the bathroom. It is the reading material in the bathroom.
Go ahead. You want to stop? Got it.
Yeah, I just want to say, like,
It's okay. This isn't over here, okay? We're not done here. This funeral stuff continues, okay? We'll go to the cemetery. We'll have the committal service cemetery, and you're all invited over to Trinity United Methodist Church for a luncheon. And I've tell this too much, but when back then I'd always say, come to the lunch, it's free, you get all this stuff and everything else. But more than that, come and tell stories. Do this. Laugh, cry, come up with stuff that you remember. Tell stuff that might not be appropriate. And remember this, Post-it notes. You got them. Write stuff on Post-it notes, and what do we do every day as a human? We go to the bathroom. Put them right in front of you in the bathroom. That is pure genius. Think about it. You always take notes and you write stuff down, you put it somewhere, and you never remember where I put it. You got a wall in front of your bathroom, put it on, or in front of your toilet, put it on that wall. That is perfect. That Grandma MacGyver came up with all kinds of stuff. And going back to the simplicity of what we're doing today and the simplicity of the Lord, and all of our lives are out of control and we're doing stuff, this and that and everything else, sometimes you have to slow down and smell the roses. Remember, it's the journey. And I say that too much too, but as I'm living life, I'm understanding it is the journey. It's not the destination. She reached the destination. God's right there. Jesus is right there. Open arms. Well done. Where Grandma's at. She's okay. And I said that earlier. She doesn't hurt anymore. It's better. She's with Grandpa. She's taking care of her son. She's taking care of her brother. She's doing everything she needs to do. And she's looking down on you and smiling herself. And as we go through life, and we're all going to do it, we're going to do stupid things. I do them daily. We all do. And that's what being a human being is. We sin, we don't mean to, so it just happens. Life happens. And remember, Jesus died on that cross so that we can be where Irene's at. So remember that as you go through this life. Slow down sometime. Thank God for what you have. Thank God for her. Thank God for what she taught you. Thank God for what you remember about her. And the simple things, calendars, birthdays, anniversaries. Stop and reach out to family and tell them happy birthday, happy anniversary. It might scare them a little bit when you reach out to them, but it's good for them. And another thing, with 91 years old, living this life, doing everything she did, 93, thank you. 93 years old, doing everything she did. Her life was complicated, but it was also very simple, because she had what she wanted to do right in front of her, and that's what she did. And that's sitting up here in these first few rows. You are what she wanted. You are what she cared about. And she still does. And she's still going to be here. And she's with God now, and she's with Jesus, and she's okay. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The 23rd Psalm. That Bible book has all kinds of promises in it like this. The Lord is with me forever. God so loved the world, he gave his only son. Whoever believes in him shall not die but have eternal life. Whoever believes in him, whoever has him here. So as we go from here, keep Irene here and keep Jesus Christ right here with her, because she's with him and she wants to see you and she wants to be with you. And don't go do that now or anything like that, but in time, as we get through this life and everything else, you're going to be with her. And she's going to teach you more things. And she's going to bring up more stuff. She's going to send you more cards. I suppose now she probably doesn't need Post-it notes or calendars. It's probably all right here. But down here, we definitely need Post-it notes and we need calendars. And we need reminders. And every now and then we need a reminder to slow down, reach out to your family, reach out to your friends, say, I love you, happy birthday, happy anniversary, or just, I hope you're doing good. Just remember that. That's what she would want. And boy, did she love you. I'm sorry, girls, the daughters. Once you had your kids, it was kind of over for you. She just went on to the grandkids. That was her life. That's what she wanted to do. That's what I got out of this. Of course, she loved you and everything else, and she was so proud of all of you. And she's just so proud of what you did and what you've become. So remember that. We'll now have our song, When I Get Where I'm Going, and Irene has certainly got where she is going.
When I get where I'm going, on the far side of the sky, the first thing that I'm gonna do is spread my wings and fly. I'm gonna land beside a lion and run my fingers through his mane, where I might find out what it's like to ride a drop of rain. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, there'll be only happy tears. I will shed the sins and struggles I have carried all these years, and I'll leave my heart wide open. I will love and have no fear. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, don't cry for me down here. I'm gonna walk with my granddaddy, and he'll match me step for step, and I'll tell him how I've missed him every minute since he left. And then I'll hug his neck. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, there'll be only happy tears. I will shed the sins and struggles I have carried all these years, and I'll leave my heart wide open. I will love and have no fear. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, don't cry for me down here. With so much pain and so much darkness in this world we stumble through, all these questions I can't answer, and so much work to do. But when I get where I'm going, and I see my Maker's face, I'll stand forever in the light of His amazing grace. Yeah, when I get where I'm there'll be only happy tears.
happy tears seem kind of tough to think about right now because we're all so sad. And there's a lot of sad tears, and that's okay. That's grief. That's the love that you had for her and the love you had for her, that she had for you. And it's good for you. It really is. And you look back, if God loved us so much, why does he make us hurt? He makes us hurt because of the love we have for other people. One thing today will do, and it's for all of us, it's going to make you think about your own life. And it's what funerals do. You don't want to go to them. You don't like it, everything else, but it makes you think, where am I at? What am I doing? She lived it. She lived the life that she had to live or chose to live because God was there with her. And that's what she wants for you, to live that life so you can be together again. And we're grateful for everything she did. Don't ever forget that. So tears, laughter, loudness, stories, just like we did the other day. Just keep telling him the little things. And don't get scratched and get that ointment on you today or anything like that she always hurt you with. Don't get a loose tooth or anything like that. That's a wonderful way to pull it. But be grateful for what she did and what she brought. So this benediction is simply about gratitude, gratefulness, and where we're at. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Your vision for tomorrow is thanking God for her. And how we do that is remember her, talk about her. Don't forget her. Live with her here. And I've done a lot of this and come across, and I still can see my grandma and remember her funeral and stuff like that. And these stories reminded me so much of the stuff we did. The TV shows, the things, staying at her house and everything there. And I didn't get the time you got with her, and it's jealousy a little bit for me. You got her. That grandma of yours, she was yours. She was always there, and she always will be. You just got to remember that. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate the family very much. We're going in procession to the cemetery. I'll dismiss you out the back. And then after the cemetery committal service, over to Trinity Methodist, 5th and Elm, here in Grand Island. Grand Island's big, so you got phones, look it up on the phone. I'd give you directions, but I can't remember everything in my head. So 5th and Elm, Trinity Methodist Church for a luncheon. That luncheon is very important. Thank you, folks.